blockchain. Binance was hosting Blockchain Week in Singapore, and one of the most read stories on the terminal this morning is Blythe Masters stepping down as CEO of her blockchain startup, Digital Asset Holdings. What sort of adoption are you seeing of blockchain technology at the moment?
Well, I think basically, as you said, 2018 has been a tough year in terms of the pricing for cryptocurrency. And I think we see a lot of projects not making it this year, so it's a correction year. But the technology will stay, and we want to kick off 2019 with a bang. So that's why we're hosting this big Blockchain Week conference in Singapore together with a hackathon and conference. So I think the people in the industry are still very confident about the future. So there's no worries about that.
So you say people in the industry are confident about the future, and I hear a lot of people who will say the price action in Bitcoin doesn't matter for the bulls. But then some critics will say, well, yes, it does, because one of the things that gets people excited about Bitcoin is, of course, the notion that it's going to go up in value. Meanwhile, you have miners who need to turn a profit, and if the Bitcoin price falls too much, they're going to start switching their rigs off. So how much of an impact is price actually going to have on the bull story for crypto?
So I think the price is a very strong attraction for a lot of speculators, but the industry is going to grow by the builders, the guys who actually build applications, and the actual adoption of the cryptocurrency in the long term. So there will always be speculation, and which will cause the price to fluctuate, either over fluctuate upwards or over fluctuate downwards. I think last year it fluctuated upwards too much, and now we're in a correction phase. We don't know if it's ended. I hope it's ended, but we're never sure. But the long-term industry is sustained by real applications, real use cases of cryptocurrency, and which a lot of people are building. So that's happening regardless of where the price moves. So I think that's where the two views comes.
Well, that's the key thing, isn't it? Whether or not what is happening in terms of pricing and the pain that is being felt by some investors is going to have an impact on your expansion strategy. How aggressively are you willing to go out there and set new milestones, conquer new markets, given the reality in the markets?
So our strategy have not changed at all. We have launched one fiat exchange so far, and we are about to launch 2 or 3 in the next month or so. And next year, we still want to build 10 more fiat exchanges. And we're also launching our decentralized exchange, which is a very core blockchain technology-based exchange that will offer much more freedom. So none of our plans change. We're still pushing forward very aggressively.
CZ, what about the roles of government around the world? I mean, they've taken a keen interest in what is happening in your space. I mean, is that something you welcome, or do you say, it's better to keep government off to the side? Too much involvement is going to be an issue.
I think we definitely welcome government or regulatory involvement. We want clarity. And I think there's still too much uncertainty in many countries in the world regarding regulations around the cryptocurrency industry. So we want clarity, but we also want good, sensible regulations. We want regulations that promote innovation and not things that just totally hamper innovation.
So, CZ, speaking of regulation, I mean, one of the criticisms that Binance has faced is this notion that the only thing you need to sign up is an email address. And some critics say that that helps, criminals or money launderers actually get on the platform and use Bitcoin for nefarious purposes. Do you have any plans to strengthen your know your customer requirements?
Yes, so that's actually a misconception. We actually have the toughest KYC, AML, and also just in general anti-money laundering initiatives or systems in place. And we're actually hosting a 2-day hackathon that's focused on security and safety. That's called the Binance Saifu Hackathon, which is focused to keep the funds are safe mental. And so the registration with the email address is just the first step of the registration. If you don't do anything meaningful afterwards, you have to do KYC, AML, and many other things. We also have an AI built in that now detects fraudulent activities, including market manipulations, even just regular fraud, including phishing sites. So the list goes on, and it's a very long list. So we, contrary to what people believe, we actually spend a lot of time and energy making the system safe and secure, and that includes doing KYC AML.
So, CZ, I hope you don't mind me asking this question, but at the beginning of this year, you said most of your money was invested in crypto assets of one sort or another, and that your net worth was something like $2 billion. Can you give us an update on where your value stands now?
Sure. I actually don't have an exact value because, but it's definitely down. So all my assets are still in crypto. All my net worth is still in crypto, and if you can look at the market, it's definitely down. So I actually don't know exactly how much it's down because of the different combinations of crypto, and they change from minute to minute. But hey, it's just 1 year. I've been in this kind of situation before, and I'm very confident that the same turnout is gonna happen again. So I'm still very confident in the industry.